Prepping, being prepared. So there's still a lot of negative stigma around the idea of being prepared. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still out there. I find this intriguing since the government, federal, state, and local, all all have or should have preparedness offices. Being prepared in response to events is not a new concept. It goes back since the dawn of man and was especially increased during the agriculture period. But for some reason, people laugh at other people who try to prepare themselves. Many people who study preparedness are absolutely perplexed by the people who do not think being prepared is an important aspect of life. So there's some sort of cognitive disruption and critical thinking skills for some people. And these people who make these conclusions or these conscious efforts not to prepare themselves. Preparedness is a simple task of assessing risk and taking action to reduce the fallout from these risks. There are, of course, people in the world who just can't seem to bring themselves to face the idea of disasters occurring and the fact that they have to look out for themselves. That's just too stressful of an idea for some people to handle. But don't let someone else's weakness be a deciding factor in your actions. These non-preparers, I bet they have fire detectors in their homes, and I bet they have cameras, and I bet a ton of them have Bibles and pray and get saved and preparedness for heaven. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Of course, that's the purpose of this video, to show that there's nothing wrong with being prepared. But they'll laugh at people who prepare themselves for things that might occur here on Earth, natural disasters or man-made ones. If you think having a tornado shelter during a tornado is smart, then why would you not think that having a gun in the event of a break-in would um, be a good idea also, or a container of clean drinking water in the event of the power going out? But if you prepare for an economic collapse, non-preppers laugh. So let's not worry about those who laugh and live an unplanned, unprepared life. Let us just move forward. But doing so has some consequences. People who don't prepare will go hungry. When people are hungry, they're capable of anything. So this video is about looking and not looking the part. I was watching a YouTube video a few days ago and I heard this guy say, "Don't tell people what you have." Of course, this is excellent advice, but if you're a prepared person, you shouldn't tell people what you have. But I think there's another set of problems that are just as important. So I think generally this is good advice, but I thought it would make sense on expanding and including more information in that single idea. So expansion of this topic would be, okay, so don't look like food when everyone else is hungry. Don't tell people what you have, but also don't let them figure it out. If your neighbors are hungry, you may start looking like food to them. So keeping your mouth shut's not enough. When the shit hits the fan and you start getting fatter and your neighbors are getting thinner, they'll know something's up. So here are some things to look for to see if you're announcing to people around you that you are a well-prepared person. Okay, so you have a truck, but you also maybe have a gun rack in the back window of your truck. You have bumper stickers that say prepped or 1776 or anything to do with guns. You have your political affiliation as a conservative as a bumper sticker, advertisement, or a sign in your yard. You wear clothes that indicate you hunt or fish, and you have a garden. You have hunting dogs, solar panels, you have cows, goats, meat, rabbits, chickens, and so on. Or just you have a farm or you look like you're a farm. You look like it looks like a farm from like the road. So when you drive down the road, you have hay blowing out of the back of your truck. That's a pretty good sign that somebody who wants to eat needs to follow you. So other things like, you're wearing t-shirts that say prepare yourself, the end is near, or anything like that. You get shipments of food left on your front porch, or your house can easily be seen from the road. You brag about going to the gun range. You have been telling all your friends to stock up on gold and silver. Your house or shed or truck are easily accessible. You leave tools laying out. Your shed has one lock that can be broken off, and you have a large fuel tank on your property. A lot of different things can indicate to someone that you would be a potential profitable hit in a shit hit the fan situation. And by profit, it could mean something completely different in a catastrophe than it does in a regular economic situation. So a lot of this has to do with rural areas, but there are some things you should consider when you're in the city or suburbs. So remember, anyone with access to your home, anyone that comes into your home to do work, will see that you have um, a certain lifestyle. So here's some things you should consider putting away or looking around and seeing, if it's an indication of what your lifestyle may be for anyone who comes into your home or even around your home, like hunting and fishing gear. Your safe, if you have a safe, large or small, put it away. ATVs shouldn't be left out on full display, and boats, if you keep a boat in your driveway or backyard, it becomes a high value item in a shit hit the fan situation. Tools of any sort, any kind of gear, um, your lights inside your house when the shit hits, having lights when others can't. When they don't have lights, it can attract the wrong people to you. So, solar panels that can be easily seen. A generator that runs all night when other people have lost power. When you get fatter and everyone else is getting thinner. Even things like bumper stickers showing your profession, nursing stickers, doctors, pharmacists, EMTs, chemists, beekeepers, farmers, veterinarians, military, and more, where people might think you have a first aid kit, drugs, survival gear, or even some kind of knowledge that you could have medications or know what medications to use for health issues. Might even go as far as to kidnap you and force you to take care of someone else, or go with a group of people so that they can use your knowledge as a resource. So I'm not saying these things are highly likely, but we shouldn't rule them out either. I don't want people to get paranoid, but also buying certain things in bulk with the signals, the other signals on the t-shirt, like freedom fighter, and then getting into a truck with a here you are getting into a truck with all of your bulk items, and you have a gun rack, and you got bumper stickers and stuff. Might indicate to some people that they may want to follow you. So overall, just be vigilant, not to the point of stressing yourself out, but be smart. Being smart's not all that difficult for you if you already are a prepared person. So don't underestimate people, though. They may seem stupid, but when they get hungry, they'll suddenly start figuring shit out. So guns aren't so bad and prepared people aren't so stupid after shit hits the fan. When they get hungry, your friends are not your friends anymore. They can be your worst enemy because most likely they know what you have, where you have it at, what your schedule is, what your house looks like on the inside, and everything else they need to know about you and what you have. So keep your house, cars, clothes from making you a target. Hungry people are a threat, injured people are a threat, stupid people are a threat, your friends are a threat, your knowledge is a threat when other people need your knowledge. So if you want to help people, try to maybe do it anonymously, try to keep your identity, location, and specific secret. This might seem hard at first, but you can get creative, get imaginative, use all your faculties to protect yourself and your family. Become unavailable. By this, I mean when someone is begging you for something, food or help, and you give them something to get them by, they now know what you have and they'll ask for more and then more and then more, and they'll just take it all if they can. If they know where you live, they'll come back to where you live to ask for more. So think of your maxims if you have any, or the natural laws. What rules do you establish for yourself in keeping yourself safe? When establishing your maxims or recognizing the laws of human nature, in my experience, it's best to keep them general. For example, what can go wrong will go wrong. It's very vague and can be applied to a lot of things. This just means be prepared. Someone who looks like they're hiding something probably is. That's just another general maxim, a good piece of advice to remind yourself of. Like likes like, but also opposites attract. So you have um, you have to know when to apply these two maxims because they don't work for everything. The like likes the like, but in some cases the opposites attract. So at what point does like and opposites attract? To know the difference between when to apply your laws, your maxims. How can it be true that things are attracted to each other if opposites are attracted to each other? So, if like things are attracted, then opposite things are also attracted. Sometimes certain plants are attracted to like plants, but sometimes certain plants are opposites and still attract to each other. For example, poison ivy is toxic to most humans. And they can have a bad reaction to it. But the cure to poison ivy is another plant that usually grows near poison ivy. So in that case, you have opposites attracting. Think about magnetism and apply it to human nature. You have hungry people who look for people who do not look hungry. But there's a lot of offices and departments and various levels of government that are prepared. They have disaster mitigation programs, they have risk assessment programs, they have safety offices, environmental offices, and have laws, statutes, codes, regulations, rules, and policies, and so on in an effort to be prepared. Some unprepared people of a certain personality type like to leave it to government to do all the work, but the problem with that is when the officer level fails, the entire system fails and people die. We saw this during the floods a few months ago along the Guadalupe River in the Texas Hill Country. I could say a lot more about this and the personalities of the people involved, but I'll just let you come up with your own ideas about all that. I just wanted to point out that the lower level of government failed in a disaster notification and response, and a lot of people ended up dying. I could say a lot more about people and personalities and the laws of human nature, but that would make this video entirely too long. So let's end it here. And remember, if you're a prepper or are thinking of prepping yourself or preparing yourself, there's more to anonymity of being one than just to not be a blabbermouth. So you have and should make yourself look like someone who is like someone that has nothing to offer anyone. If you have nothing, then you have nothing people want and they leave you alone. But even this does not work for everything since young girls have been considered a commodity since the beginning of man. So we just do the best that we can. Remember, preparedness always begins at home. And I'll see you next time.